9,000 revolutions per minute, 120 kilograms of pure madness, an engine that screams like a jet fighter and lives shorter than your smartphone. But for that sound, fans are willing to forgive it everything. The Mazda RX-7, a car that became a legend, born from stubbornness, dream, and the beautiful insanity of engineers who believed the world deserved something truly different. This is the story of the Mazda RX-7. To understand the RX-7, we need to go back in time to the 1960 seconds. Back then, Mazda was just another Japanese automaker, building small city cars and light trucks. But its president, Tsuneji Matsuda, wanted more. He understood that if Mazda was to survive, it needed something extraordinary, something that would make the world notice. Then he heard about a German engineer, Felix Wankel, a man who invented an engine without pistons. An engine where everything rotates. Matsuda was fascinated. He saw in it a chance to change the company's destiny. He bought a license for Wankel's design and gathered 47 young engineers. In Japan, they were called the 47 Ronin, after the legendary samurai who sacrificed everything for honor. Their mission was almost impossible: to turn Wankel's experimental idea into a reliable, mass-producible engine. 5 years of sleepless nights, endless failures, and raw determination followed. They melted metal, tested new materials, changed shapes and angles, chasing perfection. And finally, in 1967, their work bore fruit: the first production Mazda with a rotary engine, the legendary Cosmo Sport. The Cosmo Sport looked like a spaceship for its time, light, elegant, and powered by something from another world. To prove its reliability, Mazda entered it into the 84-hour Nürburgring endurance race. To everyone's surprise, one of the two cars finished 4th overall, behind only Porsche and Lancia. That was the beginning of the rotary Mazda era. Mazda refined its rotary technology. The RX-3, RX-4, RX-5, each one faster, stronger, more reliable. But the real revolution came in 1978, the birth of the first RX-7. The RX-7 became a symbol of Japanese engineering philosophy: light, balanced, and deeply connected to the driver. It wasn't built for numbers, it was built for feeling. Then came the masterpiece, 1991. The world saw the third generation, the RX-7 FD3S. Under the hood, a twin-turbocharged rotary 13B RU engine producing up to 280 horsepower. Weighing just 1,250 kilograms, it rocketed from 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. But numbers can't describe it. When you drive an RX-7, you're not controlling a machine, you're taming a living creature. The rotor sings, the turbos whistle, the car flows through the air like a blade through silk. The compact 120-kilogram engine was placed behind the front axle, achieving a perfect 50/50 balance. That harmony made the RX-7's handling legendary, sharp, precise, alive. Journalists called it the most refined Japanese sports car ever built. Fans called it the car that punishes mistakes but rewards passion. And the world noticed. The RX-7 became an icon of pop culture. In Time's initial D*, it was the car of Ryosuke Takahashi. In Time's Need for Speed*, it was every gamer's dream. And in Time's The Fast and the Furious*, it became the red beast of Dominic Toretto, immortalized on screen, roaring in the night. Then came the RX-7 Veilside, the most radical of them all. Wide body kit, bold curves, 19-inch wheels, and a 450 horsepower heart. 3 were built for Time's Tokyo Drift*. 1 was destroyed for the perfect shot. That single frame became cinematic history. The RX-7 was always about emotion. Its sound, that piercing rotary wail, could be recognized from miles away. It might lose a drag race, but it always won hearts. The rotary engine itself is an engineering marvel. No pistons, just a spinning triangle, completing 3 combustion cycles per revolution. Compact, light, capable of incredible revs. Fewer moving parts, less vibration, more soul. But genius always has its price. The Rotary is hungry for fuel, for oil, for care. Its seals wear out fast. Every start feels like a gamble. In 100, maybe 150,000 kilometers, and it needs a rebuild. Maintenance is expensive, specialists are rare, and spare parts scarcer still. Then came emission regulations, the final blow. Mazda had to choose: fight the world or move forward. When the RX-7 left the stage, it felt like Mazda lost its soul. The Rotary, the heart of Japanese ingenuity, no longer fit the modern world. But Mazda's engineers refused to give up. They believed the spirit of the Rotor wasn't finished yet. And so, the Mazda RX-8 was born, the final chapter of the Rotary era, the early 2000s. The automotive world was changing, turbocharging, hybrid, safety, and emissions. The Rotary seemed outdated, too temperamental for a new generation. But Mazda dared to try again. They wanted to build a car that could combine sport and practicality, logic and passion, reason and dream. In 2003, the Mazda RX-8 arrived. Not a sequel to the RX-7, a reimagining. A car that didn't strive to be the fastest, but to be the most unique. Its heart was the new Renesas rotary engine, short for Rotary Engine Genesis. A reborn rotor, Mazda redesigned it from the inside out, removing side exhaust ports, improving cooling, reducing fuel consumption. It was cleaner, smoother, and finally met modern emissions standards. Renesas produced 231 horsepower at 9,000 revolutions per minute. Not monstrous, but magical. It didn't roar, it sang, it lived. The RX-8 had a body like no other, 4 doors, but no central pillar. The rear doors opened backward, meeting the front ones in the middle, elegant, clever, symbolic. It was a sports car you could share with your family. Mazda called it a 4-seater coupe, and for once, marketing didn't lie. It was both wild and civilized, a sports car for those who wanted to feel, not just to win. Its design was pure Japanese minimalism, fluid lines, a tight silhouette, narrow headlights, muscular arches. It looked alive, as if ready to pounce at any moment. The balance remained perfect, 50/50. The RX-8 danced through corners, intuitive and precise. Reviewers called it a car that turns with your thoughts. Renesas became the last great Rotary. Mazda cherished it like a proud father. No turbos, no excess electronics, just pure mechanics, pure sound, pure emotion. But the old shadows returned. The Rotary remained delicate. It demanded care, the right oil, and patience. Cold starts and short trips could kill it. Uninformed owners often misunderstood it and quickly lost faith. Oil consumption, fuel, thirst, compression loss, the same ghosts haunted Mazda again. Despite every improvement, the world had changed. The era of raw mechanical emotion was ending, giving way to practicality and silence. Yet RX-8 found its believers. It wasn't a car for everyone. It was a car for dreamers, for those who didn't chase numbers, but chased feeling, for those who wanted to connect with the road, with the machine, with themselves. In 2012, the final RX-8 rolled off the assembly line. Mazda officially ended production of rotary engines. It was the end of nearly 50 years of innovation and defiance. For fans, it felt like the sunset of an era. But legends don't die. The RX-7 and RX-8 still live in garages, on racetracks, in drift meets, in games, in dreams. Each start of a rotary is more than sound. It's a heartbeat of history. Mazda RX-7 and RX-8 symbols of a time when ideas mattered more than profits and sound mattered more than numbers. When impossible was just another word for challenge. Today, Mazda hints that the rotary might return, maybe not as a main engine, but as part of a hybrid future. Yet the spirit of RX lives on in everyone who has ever heard that sound. Because that sound is more than mechanical noise. It's a song of freedom, of speed, of fearless creativity. Mazda RX-7 and RX-8, legends born from dreams. And maybe, one day, they'll come alive again.